Hello everyone. So I seen this statistic the other day, and it's to do with Dublin city centre, particularly the main streets of Dublin. There's a 36% decrease from last year in the amount of people walking around Dublin, especially O'Connell Street. It's very desperate on O'Connell Street, the main street. And the media are saying, oh, it's because people are buying online and stuff. That may be true for maybe 1%, it may be. But a lot of people like going out to get deals and to going in to see the product themselves. But the simple fact of the matter, the government can talk shit all they want, and Helen McAtee can talk shit. We see every day of the week people being assaulted in Dublin, tourists being assaulted, tourist numbers are down. That's because, obviously, of course, the price too. But not even that too. We've seen a tourist that died, a Canadian tourist that came to Ireland, had a huge love for Ireland, was killed in the street by two Romanian nationals, and one of them only off the prison for 5.5 years. After killing the man, they get 5.5 years. Tell me, what care do we have for people in this country? Because it doesn't seem like the judges give a shit. And we seen the other day, just as I'm recording this, 2 days ago, there was a man seriously nearly killed in Temple Bar. I don't know where the guards were, but the guards were nowhere to be found. He was assaulted. He was very seriously assaulted. He's lucky the man's not dead, but he's in serious condition in hospital. We pray for his recovery. But he had an awful doing, really awful doing. And again, this is not a side alleyway. This is on the main streets of Dublin. And the amount of robberies and stuff is going, it's insane, open drug dealing, etc. And they wonder why people are afraid to walk around Dublin city centre, and Dublin in general, because Dublin is not safe. It's simple as that. The justice system is a joke. The Gardaí won't do anything. The Gardaí are incompetent in a lot of cases. They go after people for thought crime. They don't want to go after people for knife crime or anything like that. They couldn't care less. Then when there's people coming into the country we don't know about, like these two Romanian nationals, they should never have been here in the first place to kill this man, and you think they would be sent home instead of putting them for 5 years in prison, to be totally honest. But they should spend the rest of their life in prison, to be generally honest, for killing a man. And there's many like him many like them that are here causing trouble. The same as our own crowd. There's a own crowd causing trouble too. What I mean by that, Irish people. And there should be no mercy shown to them either, because Dublin's become a weird kip, and it's a sad thing to say. Dublin's a really nice place. I remember when I was younger, going up to Dublin and going into historical buildings, going into the GPO. I remember the first time going into the GPO. I thought I was amazed. It was such a. I still remember it very vividly, and I remember walking around Trinity College, and it was great memories. I remember that when I was younger. Nowadays, I wouldn't do it. I was in Dublin there May last year, going to Finland, going to Helsinki. And I was on O'Connell Street waiting to go to the airport, etc. I had a few hours to kill, walked around O'Connell Street, some of the side streets there. And degeneracy, that's what I would call it. That's all I seen, degeneracy. And not even that too. A city that is just unsafe. I didn't feel safe. I didn't want to be there more than I had to be there. And I wouldn't go up now, to be generally honest. I wouldn't go up now and walk around the Connell Street or any of the streets in Dublin, to be generally honest. And that's a sad thing to say, because I really enjoyed it when I was younger. And I felt safe. It was not one stage when I was younger I felt that nowadays you feel under threat. In your own capital city, in your own country, it's absolutely insane. And then I walked around Helsinki in the middle of the night and stuff. Not even woods, that I feel unsafe. Streets that I didn't even know I walked down. And, I never wanted them in my life. And, I felt more safer there in the middle of the night, than in Dublin city centre. And this is during the day. Imagine what I would have felt at night. And I'm an Irish citizen of this country, and it's a shame because, again, in that GPO, many people died, so this country could be free, so Ireland could be free. And again, it's degeneracy that's happening on O'Connell Street and what's happening on the side streets of Dublin. And I would hate to sit and ask a tourist what they think about this city, what they think about Dublin, what they think about Ireland, because it's not a great postcard. It's not a great story to be telling people. Because I only would imagine that, because I've seen many tourists. I did see a lot of Americans particularly. And I don't know what they must have thought, because they're paying thousands a year to come to Ireland, to come to Dublin, taking to see loads of Irish people. They find nobody pretty much that's Irish nowadays. But what I'm trying to say is they come along to Dublin, spend thousands a year on accommodation, etc., coming here and spend the money, etc. And they look around Dublin. It's like I don't know what, Detroit, to be generally honest with you. It's like some country that has just abandoned all hope of itself. In a lot of cases, that is right, that statement. But it is just a disaster, and that's why people don't want to go into Dublin City, because it's a disaster zone. In a lot of cases, it's a disaster, and I hate to say it. I'm not sitting here gloating about it and saying I want to see things should have got better long ago. Like, again, a lot of these people should be locked up or deported, etc. In a lot of cases, or the people that are doing this, Irish citizens, should be sent to prison or made to go and do a bit of hard work, etc. But the fact of the matter, nothing has changed. Everything's got worse. It's the fact of the matter, the government are complicit to sit in their hands and do nothing. And that's the thing. It'd be different if it's got better. It's got worse. It's getting worse by the day. As I'm speaking here, it's still getting worse. And that's the reason why now I know the government, as I was saying at the beginning, it's about online shopping and stuff, people buying stuff online. But a lot of people, you'd be surprised, a lot of Irish people particularly like going into shops and having a chat and talking about, and going and physically feeling what they're buying and knowing what they're buying. A lot of Irish people like that. You might be surprised, not compared to other countries, but a lot of Irish people like doing that. You'd be surprised, there's a lot of people enjoy doing that. Irish people, because again they can maybe bargain with the person and stuff. That's what happens pretty much in rural Ireland anyway. But and then they even say about tourist numbers, etc. They are well down to 7% down last year, which I believe it's a very noticeable decrease, especially in Dublin and stuff. But the price of accommodation too is extraordinary in Dublin. It's absolutely insane. But it's worrying to see, particularly in the main street, it's down 15%. O'Connell Street, footfall on O'Connell Street's down 15%. But we need to take serious action or Dublin will be lost. Nobody would want to be around Dublin. That's too dangerous. And even I know myself, I know many people from Cavan, you walk in Dublin, etc. They want to get out of it as soon as possible. You think they would say, "Oh, I'll go have a drink after my day's walk, etc." in the pub. No, straight away they want to get home, get on the bus, and get out the fuck. And I hear that a lot from people from Cavan, even people going up maybe for celebration or stuff, or going away and the night before going up to Dublin, etc. and staying the night in Dublin to get onto the airplane early to have an early flight. I know one couple in particular, they were going to, I think they were going to Turkey. Yeah, they were going to Turkey. That's where they were going. And they were going to go out for dinner and stuff, and they just didn't go out. They didn't go out for dinner. They wanted to go for a nice walk and go for dinner, but they didn't feel safe. They didn't want to. This is in the city centre. This is not a back anyway. This is in the city centre. They didn't like what they seen. They're from Cavan. They didn't like what they seen, and they didn't feel safe, and they wouldn't going to risk going to a grave. And it's a shame. It is a shame because they should be able to walk the streets. They shouldn't be afraid to walk the streets, especially because they're being the Irish citizens. They shouldn't be afraid in the one country. It's absolutely insane. But I could tell you many stories. There's a fella I know, another fella I who works in construction. Goes up early in the morning. You see him about at 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock, to be up at 9 for starting on construction sites. And oftentimes he waits around in the evening for an hour or two after his work, etc. And he doesn't go for drinks. He doesn't go anywhere. He goes straight to the bus station and waits at the bus station. Because he just doesn't want to go anywhere. He doesn't do his shopping around. He could buy his stuff in Dublin, but he just doesn't feel safe. And he said that to me many times. And there's people and he's a builder and stuff. He lays bricks, etc. and he does all that kind of stuff. And he knows people that are tough. They're tough people, very fit people and stuff, and they're afraid to walk around Dublin city centre. And these are people that are very, very tough people and very hardy people, and they're afraid, and that's what you need to know. It's not just people who are people with special needs or older people. It's people that are fit and were able to defend themselves and stuff. They're too afraid because these people nowadays. These people don't care about people's lives. And as we've seen in Dublin with that tourist, 5.5 years for killing somebody. That's what the justice system in this country says if you killed somebody. And nowadays people don't know the understand of a fair fight and stuff. Nowadays there's 3 or 4 against 1. As we've seen in this case, there's 2 against 1. And nowadays people would pull a knife on you and just stab you, and that's it. There's no such thing as a fair discussion or argument nowadays. That's what it is. And unfortunately the city has gone to hell, and simple as that. But it's something we need to fight for, even though I'm not from Dublin myself, but it's important because it's our capital city. It's where our independence was won in the GPO, and it's where many people gave their lives for Irish freedom, and it's an important place in the state of our country. And it's a shame because when Dublin goes, the country goes, and that's as simple as that, because it is the capital city, and everything takes place really in the capital city. All the institutions, everything in the state is pretty much based in Dublin. And it's important to keep Dublin going, but unfortunately it's not going. It's going to the dogs, and it's already with the dogs, and it's going to be very hard to take it off the dogs. And that's to be genuinely honest. But anyway, let me know what you think. Do you feel safe in Dublin? I suppose it's asked that question before, and never once they say one person ever said I feel safe. Nobody said that in a long, long time, and it's getting worse, and that's the thing. Anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe, go on, bye.